Welcome, everybody. It's your boy Kyle with the Bolt Bros back at it once again for a Thursday night football. That's right, guys. Mini camp has came and gone. It is all finally over. Mandatory mini camp is done, and we had, of course, a couple of stars from the whole thing. You know what I'm saying, guys? But the biggest thing, Coach Harbaugh, basically has said that he's focusing on polishing the red zone work and team outlooks and stuff like that. So, but then also the biggest thing too, man. Like I said, we had a couple stars that people that kind of took the spotlight. We had Derwin James, Oronde Gadsden, Justin Herbert, and a couple others. So and there were some big questions that came to some of our wonderful athletes on the team, namely Khalil Mack up in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they asked him some good questions. He had a really good interview this week, and so we'll talk a little bit about that today. Well, I'm excited about this. Hey, what's up, Miguel? We got Darth Panic also in the chat. Paul in the back. What's up, my man? We got Pappy up in the house. So yeah, so people are starting to get together, but as they do, let's hit that intro button real quick, and we'll see you guys in just a few. So as always, Bolt Bros, let's go.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bullets in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Yes, that's right, guys. We out here, baby. We out here. Look, guys, it is exciting times for the Chargers and for all foot sports because we are getting closer and closer to training camp. Look, I know what people say is okay, football season doesn't start until September, but that doesn't mean that you don't get to see your boys on the field. You don't get to see them in action until that long. You don't have to wait that long, baby. Yes, that's right. Training camp is the first time that you get to go and have a good time with the rest of the fam. And the fact is, too, is that is just right around the corner, guys. So let me pull this thing up here, So I always I like to talk about this, of course, as much as I can, because the fact is, look, guys, training camp is just around the corner. July 17th is when we actually can get your tickets to the show and have a good time. Meet up with some of your boys. There's always the training camp. If you haven't been to training camp, man, you are seriously missing out. I don't know what you are doing with your life, but if you especially live in Southern California right now, and you're able to, and you survive the LA riots right now, you need to be going here to camp. That's right. So, and you can get your tickets for opening weekend the Monday of the week before, which I believe in this case will be July 7th. So mark your calendars and, get in line for that, because I'm pretty sure as it was last time, that there was a bit of a line system that they had. You had to sign up and be in the queue in order to get your tickets. And these tickets went fast. So, no, that's right. Yeah, LA Peaceful Protest. Sorry, thank you for the correction there, Darth Panic. Yeah, so and Pappy, yeah, he's already ready though. Yes, he said he's already got his hotel room for the first 2 weeks. Let's freaking go. Let's get there. That's what's up, Pappy. Yes, and Pappy, I'm excited to see you there. I'm excited to see any of you guys there, man. It's an amazing time for me, especially as a fan, Chargers fan or whatever like that, just to go out there and have that opportunity to kind of hang out with you guys, and also to get really close to the players, and just relax, chillax, and here's the thing too. I don't know of any events yet, but during training camp, there's always some kind of after party with a lot of the tailgaters and stuff like that. A lot of times they'll probably go to there's a barbecue restaurant just right around the corner from camp that a lot of people go to. It's fan-freaking-tastic. There's also a couple other spots, like that they might hit up or whatever. There's a couple spots there's a tap house or whatever. So the owner of that place, I need to find out the name of that facility because I went there and I found out he was a huge Chargers fan and he actually hosts like little watch parties at his bar all the time, So yeah, and at the same side, Darth Panic, the new facility is super nice. So if you haven't already, you guys got to get out there, man. You got to plan a trip or set some time off or whatever, and just have a few laughs. Get together. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. But yeah. So anyhow, who else? So if you're in the chat and you're planning on going, drop it in there. It's like, do some, answer this question for me. If you're planning on going out to this thing.
Who's got it better than us?
Yeah, everybody, get some nobodies in the chat if you're planning on going to training camp, So yeah, because who's got it better than us? You let me know in the chat, baby. That's all I know. That's right. So, yeah. Hey, so this is what's up? We got a little someone here says, I know this is a Charger show, but out of curiosity, what do you think of old Charger staff will do in New Orleans? Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley. Booty stank steady. Oh my gosh! Wait, hang on a sec. Did you? Hang on a sec. Did you catch wind of us calling him booty stank? Because I think I was the one that started that whole thing. Just in case, if you're a New Orleans podcaster or whatever like that, I was the whole one that started that thing. I started the thing by calling Coach Brandon Staley booty stank. So anyway, so like before we get into what I want to talk about today, yes, I will address your question. And the answer is, look, I liked Kellen Moore. I thought he was totally good. But Brandon Staley was an absolute bust as a head coach. So with that said, though, he was good as a defensive coordinator with the Rams. So I don't know if, his experience as a head coach would have humbled him and stuff like that, But I do think that as a head coach, you should avoid him like the plague. But I think if he's a defensive coordinator, he might do okay. Just because he's not putting on as many hats or something like that, But if he just has like one specific job, it might work out better for him. But I don't know what the situation is too with Kellen Moore. He's an offensive coordinator. I don't know if he's gonna make the play calls on the offense as well. I think that's gonna bode pretty bad for you guys too, because personally, I don't think a coach should do both the offense and the defense and head or one or the other and head coach as well. So that's just my thing. I feel like a head coach should be a head coach and delegate the offensive play calls to the offensive coordinator and the defensive play calls to the defensive coordinator. You let me know what you guys think, but and you let him know in the chat what you guys think as well. But for my money, I never want to see booty stank Brandon Staley anywhere near the Chargers facility ever again, except when we play him and stomp on him. That's all I know. So yeah, yeah, man. So you guys listen up, man. I hope you guys are having a good week. It is Thursday Eve. Thursday Eve. It is Friday Eve, my man. And thanks, Miguel. Yes, I got home kind of late and I just had a little chit chat with my wife and I was like, well, you know what? I totally forgot my shirt. So whatever. It is what it is, So yeah. And you're right. Booty stank is a thing of the past, Miguel. But yeah, someone is asking from the New Orleans side of things. So I just answering that question. So anyway, so let's get down to business and talk about the camp. That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't sing to you guys at all. Us Bolt Bros, we're not really known for our singing voices. I'll tell you that much. So, but yeah, I'm having a good time though, man. I kept up on watching some of those interviews. And I was curious about a lot of the things that happened. So we had some good events already that popped up in the in minicamp. Some great interviews. And the first and foremost, the biggest, the person that I wanted to talk about first about that was, of course, the one, the only, the great Derwin James. Let's go. Man, that's right. So Derwin James, man, he was dominating in minicamp. Like he was on a 7-on-7 drill. As reports have shown, he defended 2 passes against Justin Herbert, which is freaking awesome. Showing obviously like how good he is. In Jesse Minter's system after just year 2. I mean, I'll say this though too. It's like so. I mean, I like obviously the fact that Justin Herbert, or Derwin James was able to show that he was able to ball out or whatever on minicamp. But you got to realize too, all this stuff, it's all just hype, guys. Like let's be perfectly honest here. It's just because he had 2 block passes on 7-on-7 drills in minicamp doesn't mean that Derwin James is going to have 10 interceptions and he's going to break 150 tackles in the year or something like that. He's not going to be. Let's manage our expectations. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just how I feel about all this stuff. So just throwing that out there, as well. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I'll say is that like it's exciting to see. I'm excited to see some news of some action and things like that. So yeah. But the best thing about this thing too is the fact that this is year 2 under the Jesse Minter system, and it just kind of shows how he's able to adapt, to all these different changes that he's had over the years. So we've had 3 years of hell with Booty Stank, and I'm sure like they put way too much pressure on Derwin James to be able to perform on that thing, and I'm glad that he's not doing that just now. But it shows that he has, obviously great man coverage. He has great zone coverage, and in the whole system and stuff like that. He's able to, 100% once again, lock himself in as the key cornerstone of our defense, in the backfield. So, 100% there, Darth. He is a 100% leader on our defense, and 100% he's going to be another captain on the team, which I admit though too. Like, I mean, when it comes to being a captain, I do like the fact that I like the idea of making a linebacker captain as opposed to a corner, or not a corner, a safety. Because a linebacker, they're in the mix. Like they can talk to the defensive lineman, and they can make signals to the backfield, and so that way everyone knows what to be on, what page to be on right now. So that's kind of what I like to see. I think Derwin James is just way too far in the back to really to lead the defense. I feel like it's like, look, don't get me wrong, he is a captain, 100%, but there, defensive captain should be the linebacker, and in my personal opinion, the linebacker is 100% the quarterback of the defense. Just call me crazy. It's fine. Yeah. And let me just get a little reaction here for you. It's like, well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's a shocker to some people. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Probably not. Yeah. So, but look, remember this. So we had a top ranked 2024 scoring defense last year under Jesse Minter's system. So that does give us high expectations about what's going to happen for the 2025 season, So, but I will admit, let's not get too excited. Again, let's manage our expectations. That's right. Thank you, Miguel. But we are playing against much better teams this year. Like I fully admit, the teams that we're going to face off against are going to be better. However, so are those other teams as well. So I don't know necessarily if all those teams that were good last year are going to be great this year. So it's very possible, yeah, I'm definitely seeing some trade cues in the chat. Timmy talked about it, and then K Graves is saying it. Yeah, well, I mean, look, I'm fully down. I'm fully down to trade Q. Just make us an offer that we can't refuse, and we'll just make it happen. So, but I did want to pose a question to you guys about Derwin James. Let's see. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? This is a good question here. This is a good question. I like this one here. What do you guys think of this? If I pull it up here, add that. Okay, boom. I'll move this down here. So that's the big question I want to ask you guys. Does Derwin James, how does Derwin James' slot role expand the defense flexibility? Because, obviously I'm thinking about this. So if he can potentially do a little bit more at safety, he might be put into a slot cornerback situation, So we may have the opportunity to put him in a position where he can actually do some more coverage and not just be a safety, not just run the cover 1, cover 2 situation, So let me know in the chat. So for me, I think it could be a huge move for him to be that, So maybe expand his ability to make bigger plays in some regard, And I can see we can get him into that slot position to actually run as a blitz as well, not just a safety blitz, but maybe a corner blitz package, So, and Sam brings up a good point, So that's why we signed Molden for 3 reels, gives Derwin peace, and you're right, 100%, So we have the opportunity now because Derwin James, because we have Molden, who actually does, amazing, work. Let's say he shined really well under Jesse Minter's system, and so showing that he can actually step up does relieve a bit of pressure from Derwin James. So. Oh yeah, and absolutely, K Graves. Yeah, this makes a weak linebacker slot position for him. And Derwin James is big enough to be some type of linebacker, and so this could be fan-freaking-tastic to see that. Yeah, and this could actually be a huge boon to the defense, I would say. However, I do think it's going to put a lot more pressure on Derwin James to perform and stuff too, which does bring to mind how Brandon Staley wanted to use Derwin James, So, because Brandon Staley really did like using Derwin James for basically about everything. So, I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing, So, you guys let me know, because there's been times, of course, when Derwin James got injured and Booty Stank wanted Derwin James to run basically everything. I feel like we kind of did better when Derwin James was just his safety. So, and he was out there just doing his thing, what he knew best and what he did best. That's when we actually did the best, I feel like. So, and it's possible that that's how it was for Jesse Minter in this situation. So, you guys let me know in the chat though, So I'm reading the comments here. Or Mike LB slot. Sure, I can see that. And yeah, and that's right, Sam. Yeah, we might have Mickens to replace Alohi Gilman as well soon. So, and yeah, because I don't know if we're gonna keep Alohi past the contract that he has now. But Mickens could be that replacement for him. So if something happens, yeah. And you're right, Daniel. Yes, Booty Stank did overuse DJ. He made him, do way too much, and he had to react to every little thing that freaking happened. And because of what he did, that determined and dictated what the cornerbacks had to do or the linebackers. It was just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So yeah. K Grave says his tackling and attacking the ball skill set is better than his coverage skill set, and I agree, and I definitely agree. And so that's kind of a concernicus that I have about Derwin James. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I love Derwin James. He's amazing. He's the best, corner, or I keep saying corner. He's the best safety in the freaking league in my book, of course. So, and so he can. I think if he could step up in a big way, though, I think this could be really huge for him, though. So yeah. Yeah. What's up, George? How you doing, my man? So we got Eddie is dropping the potential defensive the starting defense. So go ahead and just take a look at that, fellas. It's really good. So Eddie does some good research on that, So and by the way, Eddie, I hope you're feeling better. Hopefully your ribs feel good soon. So yeah. Anyway, so but you guys let me know in the chat about that one. I'm gonna keep moving forward, and so let me see. There's some more other things I wanted to chat about here too. I don't want to talk. There's a lot that I want to talk about. Oh shoot, I did not get the slide that I wanted here. Oh dang it, I didn't pull it up here. Sorry guys. I'll just pull up this one here. So another big player that wanted to chat about. Actually, I don't even need this right now. That obviously. So another big player I want to chat about is Oronde Gadsden II, el número dos. That's right. Sorry guys, that's probably a horrible Spanish Spanish accent. I don't speak a Spanish. I'm partially Hispanic. Us bros, we have a little bit of Portuguese in us, I guess. So just kind of, so more of anything, we have a little bit of that side of us. So, but I'm just saying. So I'm sorry if I butchered that to y'all over there. So, anyhow, but Oronde Gadsden II had a pretty big showing out on day 2, guys. So he had a nice catch on the day. A nice 20-yard wheel route that turned out to be a touchdown from Justin Herbert, baby. So let me get him a little something here. So yeah, Oronde Gadsden is on the rise, baby. Straight to the top. Yeah. Yeah, so, and I'm excited to see that, guys, because, man, I tell you this, we actually have needed a star, amazing tight end, forever. Yeah, and you're right, Darth. Is he our potential new star tight end? I think he might be. Sure. Look, I think he could be. And I'm hopeful that he is. Let's just put it that way, because look, the last 2 years, I definitely wanted a tight end in the first round. That was my biggest go-to thing. I wanted basically the first 2 years, I think. This is why I think the Raiders pay attention to the Bolt Bros. They don't pay attention to the other podcasters, because they know that we're the right ones. We are correct all the time, because, or maybe not. I don't know, probably not. But whatever reason, we have convinced the Raiders that drafting a tight end in the first round for the last 2 years was a good idea. maybe we're doing something right, because they sure did that. Because, man, I've been pounding the table saying that I wanted a freaking tight end the first round, and lo and behold, that's what they did. Because they wanted to throw some shade to the Chargers, maybe, and so I don't know. We'll see. So it just kind of makes me laugh that that's kind of what happened. So anyhow, but I digress. Like I said, so I am really excited to see about that. In fact, Harbaugh and Greg Roman both praised Gadsden's catch radius, his route versatility, and his his potential that he has. So it's pretty awesome though. So and you're right, okay, guys. Yes, he did play as a receiver before tight end, so that gives him that versatility as a tight end. But he's got the size of a freaking tight end. He's 6'5", 243 pounds, and he's only going to get bigger in weight too. So he could add easily another 20 pounds and be a freaking absolute unit of a freaking tight end. So that would be amazing. So look, and we need that. Like I said, we've needed a star-studded receiver tight end for a while. Like it could have been Hayden Hurst, but he got injured. He had like a lot of issues. And man, it still echoes in my head, man. But like that preseason game, he kind of had that freaking hospital ball thrown to him by the freaking backup quarterbacks. I don't remember which one specifically. And he just got freaking lit up. I was like, oh, I felt that from my freaking couch, bros. I was like, dude, you don't be doing that to my freaking guys. Come on. Yeah, that's why you're a backup quarterback, man. Don't be throwing those hospital balls. Miguel's got a good quote here. He is a wide end. That's right. Yes. Yes, he is that wide end that we've been needed, you know? So like, yeah, so you got the narrow end, and now you got the wide end, you know what I'm saying? Narrow end of the front and wide end of the back. You know what I'm saying? Ayo, bolt up, baby. Yes, please. Oh, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, you know, because that's, you know, we like to, like you said, look, guys, here in the Bolt Bros, we have multiple things that we got going on all week. You know, my brothers like to do some news articles here and there, like, and talk about some news. I like to speculate and kind of have a good little chat with you guys on Thursday nights. On the off season, and then we do Wednesdays during the season. So we kind of move it around to kind of match what the kind of the needs are, you know. So, but like I said, but we have a good time. We do things a little bit differently than the rest of the other shows. And so if you haven't already, please like the video, because it really does help us out. And obviously, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we like to have a good time and we like to party. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so Sam says, yes, Gadsden's going to be a serious weapon on this offense. So, but I did have a question about this. This is a big interesting question here. I like this one here. Let me pull this one up here for you guys here. Yeah, let me pull this one up. All right. So, not that one, not that button. Right, hang on a sec here. Let me pull it up. Let me pull this up. Okay, so my question to you guys: do you guys think that Gadsden's going to be able to carve out a role behind veteran Tyler Conklin, or potentially replace him before the season even starts? Let me know your thoughts. This is actually kind of interesting thought that I've been thinking. I was like, you know, like, it's possible that this could happen. You know, I know Conklin is kind of he's kind of a receiver type tight end as well. But you never know, you know, like, I mean, sometimes I feel like this. I do feel like sometimes veterans just end up kind of sleeping a little bit, you know. They just, like, you know, they've been to so many different teams. They've made a tons of money, whatever like that. You know, they're not hungry anymore. You know, they're not competitive anymore. I don't know. Maybe, you know, they're still competitive, but they're not like, my job's on the line. I got to show up and I got to do the best that I can. I got to be like Kobe Bryant, showing up before anyone gets on the field, and I'm going to get off before, be the last person off the field, all that kind of stuff, you know. But that's the same side though too, you know. It's like, I mean, we still got Will Dissly as well. Look, and I think Will Dissly has secured himself with the chemistry that he's built with Justin Herbert. So that's kind of a lock in. But Tyler Conklin or Oronde Gadsden, that's a big toss up for me. You know, they're both kind of similar sets, you know. So we just don't know. But you're right though, like, George. I mean, I can't wait to see Tyler Conklin in action as well. And so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good, you know. So Kyle Goodwin, what's up, my man? Another Kyle. Let's go. I'm gonna give you some lasers for that one. Where's the lasers? Here it is. Let's go. Yes, that's right. Kyler Goodwin says by the end of the season, but probably not before. I can see that. I can see that for sure. You know, I mean, look, let's be honest too. Like, veterans, they do get hurt. Like, they're kind of carrying over some type of injury risk over the years and stuff like that. You know, so it's very possible that Conklin could get injured. I hate to freaking say it. I'm sorry, but that's just the way freaking football is, man. It ain't no tickling match out there, you know, boys. They ain't mud wrestling out there, like, and trying to get the, someone's panties or, sock off their foot, like that during, that's not what this is not sock ball or whatever, or tickle ball. But this is football, baby. Played on the gridiron, baby. So, yeah. But I think that's pretty good. And you're right, Darth. I think he is possibly put in mostly as a blocking tight end. So, this is actually that's the thing. But he's also, like you said, Sam, he can also catch. And so that's kind of why I'm like, so it really just depends now. So I think the assignment is for Gadsden to be able to pick up being able to block well as well. If he can block as well as catch, let's just say this: he can block better than he can catch, then he's going to ascend himself into the first tight end one. You know what I'm saying? So that could be the thing. That could be the move that happens. Timmy says, I think Conklin is pretty potentially really good. Who's been held back by quarterback play. You're right. He could be held back by quarterback play, by play calls, by bad coaching, by a lot of different things. And that's what's so special about this team now, guys. I mean, like, I'm sorry that I get so much more hyped on this stuff like that, with the Chargers these days. But we have adults in the room. We have, amazing football minds that finally want to win, that want to bring to the Chargers all the way to the top. And man, and like, I believe that, that our team, like I said, Alohi Gilman, Elijah Molden, career year with the Chargers, Tier Tart, career year with the Chargers, Poona Ford, career year with the Chargers, I mean, I can't really say too much about, well, I guess you can say Quentin Johnston, career year with the Chargers the last year. But he's still on my kind of poo-poo list. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah. Okay. I'm going to cause some trouble. Okay. Oh, you're going to cause some trouble there, Sam. All right. Sounds good. But you guys let me know. Let's just keep moving forward, though. So, I mean, like I said, I like Tyler Conklin, and I think he's going to do awesome. But I did want to, obviously, getting into that same vein, I wanted to talk about, of course, I wanted to talk about Justin Herbert, because, hey, you can't have a show and not talk about Justin Herbert. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of this thing here. Yeah. But the fact is, too, so Justin Herbert, he threw, he was balling out, guys. He was balling out as well. We talked a little bit about Derwin James at first, how Derwin James, of course, had, a couple block passes, during the drills on day one. But guess who got the last laugh on day 3? That is today, baby. Guess what? You want to know? Do you want to know? Okay, well, I guess I already showed my hand, but Justin Herbert threw 5 touchdowns on today. That's right. And there was a big one, actually. Surprisingly, you guys actually talked a little bit about him already. But he threw one of those passes to Quentin Johnston. And it was between defenders and stuff like that. So the chemistry between Quentin Johnston and Justin Herbert is growing, and it is getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, but that's right, Miguel. 5, big old 5 titties. I said. I meant tutties, but sorry, sorry, my guys. You know where my mind's at all the time. You know what I'm saying? 5 tutties. I think I said it with TIDD like that, but whatever, my bad. Hey, somebody clip that. Anyways, yeah, but yes, he threw 5 tutties. But that kind of just shows, though, so, but the people that he threw it to were Gadsden. All right, we just talked about him. Brenden Rice as well. He had a touchdown catch. Tre Harris, and that was a one-headed grab by Tre Harris. I want to see that clip. I want to see that clip so bad. And then and that was just to name a couple of them, So, and then of course Quentin Johnston and whoever else. Maybe I don't know whoever else. I didn't catch up on that one, but I may have missed it. But so that's the thing. And by the way, guys, just real quick, was it probably Ladidi? Yeah, was probably Ladidi, of course. Yes, that's for sure. And yes, you're right. Justin Herbert is definitely a veteran now. He's not a rookie anymore. I think he's on his veteran contract now. So we are good. He is in the he's in the big leagues now, boys. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I would like that, Gabriel. 24 points per game. That'd be awesome. And I think that would make us win. We might be able to get a little bit higher too. Might be able to go 27. That'd be freaking fantastic. But anyways, I digress. So, but I also wanted to mention this. So apparently Tre Harris, I believe he has officially signed, but it just kind of went under the radar. I looked at over the cap, and it showed that he does have a contract for $840,000 a year right now. So I don't know whatever the bonuses or whatever, but apparently he did sign, but it just kind of went under the radar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, but yeah, Sam, yeah, Tre's doing good. He's doing real freaking good out there. So yeah, man, let's start thinking of some names for him. Tre Harris. I don't know. Harris. Oh, isn't there a jet that starts with an H? Is it a Harris? No, not a Harris jet, but it was that first one that we had the vertical lift or whatever like that. What is the name of that freaking jet? I don't know. Someone in the chat remember shoot, I can't even think about it. Gosh, dang it. Like I said, you guys in the chat, let me know. Harrier jet. That's it. Harrier Harris, maybe. I don't know. Tre Harrier, maybe. I don't know. Something like throwing some random things out there, So, anyways, yeah. So I will say this though too, guys. There was a bit of a Harrier jet. That's right, guys. There was a bit of an injury concern potential already for him out there. I'm not saying much. I'm not saying much about it. I know exactly, guys. Yeah. No, don't bring this up. But he was wearing a sleeve on his leg or whatever like that. And so, but he did. I don't know if you saw in the interview, he did respond. It's no, there's really no injury concern. Just wanting to keep, be extra cautious, he supposed, but he's focusing on leadership. He's focusing on improving and connecting with the team. Yeah, all that stuff, So yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's go, Bo Bros. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. I like that, Dark fan. Tre, I hope you're better than Matthew Golden Harris. I like that one. A lot. Cut that. Sorry. Yeah. So that's pretty good. No film on Lambert Smith yet. Okay. Dang it. I wanted to see that freaking one-handed catch, though. That'd be amazing. Yeah, and if you can find that clip or whatever, drop it in the chat, and I'll pull it up and we can watch it with the class. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I'm gonna say this. Look, do you guys think? I mean, we bring this up every single year, but I think it's possible that if we go far. Do you think Justin Herbert is poised for an MVP caliber 2025 season with these new playmakers, this new team? Look, obviously last year we were hopeful, but we were delulu hopeful for it, because we didn't really have weapons for him. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really have the people that he needed in order to make it put that in place. So. Of course, we were delulu about it. We thought it could happen. Of course we did. Because you could not call yourself a fan of the Chargers if you thought otherwise. Sure, you could be realistic, but I think this year could be the year that Justin Herbert might be able to get that MVP caliber. He's definitely top 5 for sure, no matter what. because of the options that we have now. Because we got an amazing run game built. And people are saying this. He's saying George Harris for 1,000-yard season, dude. If he can have 1,000-yard season, that's gonna open up our pass game so much better, guys. Look, and then if homeboy Omarion Hampton can get, say 3/4 of that, so he gets a 750-yard season. Whoo, guys, our pass game is going to be open like crazy because they are not going to know what the Chargers are going to do. We're going to be able to throw the ball. We're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to keep on guessing. They're going to be on their heels the entire defense, man. And that's going to be what's up, man. That's all I know. So, yes. And George says, yeah, he's counting on it. Yeah. So it's like, but Darth Panic is being a little dark horse here, and he's saying, no, because of OC Greg Roman, it's going to be a run first and then run often team. You know what? And I tend to agree. With this idea. And the truth is too, Daddy's in the chat. It's funny. Yeah, what I'm going to say, so yeah, that's the biggest thing. OC, Greg Roman is definitely not much of a pass person. He doesn't like passing the ball like that much. He doesn't like airing it out. He wants Justin Herbert to be more mobile and scramble a little bit more and actually do that stuff. And look, Justin Herbert might be able to just start running the ball too. What if he gets another 500 yards and rushing, as well as maybe, let's say, I don't know, maybe 3,000 in passing? That could be huge. That could be cute. That could be awesome too, though. So, yes, that's a combo. Does it have fries? Hey, you know what? It might have fries, and it might have chicken wings too, baby. You know what I'm saying? And it might have let's see, and it might have cinnamon rolls as well. You know what I'm saying? Or a churros. It might have churros with it too, with some cinnamon dip, something like that. A cinnamon butter dip. Hey, let's go. Is it cream filled? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. maybe not. I don't know. My friend here, Justin, he's already been taken and he's cracked at Fortnite, my guy. What's up, man? That's what's up. Yeah. So thank you so much again, Mike Miguel, for please like and subscribe if you haven't already, please. Yeah. So you think Mike Williams will have an okay year? And that's a big point too. We always forget, guys. We got Mike Williams back. He already has a deep chemistry with Justin Herbert. We all know Mike Williams did not want to leave LA. He didn't want to leave the Chargers. So I think it's very possible that Mike Williams will have an okay year. But the truth is, though, too, I feel like if anything, we need to use Mike Williams sparingly. He's the third down guy, maybe fourth down guy for in those situations, But we're gonna use Quentin Johnston. We're gonna use Tre Harris and Ladidi McConkey, and maybe KLS or whatever like that. Maybe, I don't know if we're gonna go that deep or whatever like that for first and second downs, 100%. But unfortunately, those are gonna be running downs. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. For sure. But yeah, I do think that. Like I said, I think that Justin Herbert has the possibility of actually being a MVP candidate this year, much higher odds this year than last year. That's all. That's really all I got to say. So we will see. And it really just depends on how deep we go into the playoffs. Honestly, I believe we're going to go all the way to the AFC Championship because, hey, I got a man can dream, can he? A man can dream. And I actually do believe this could be a good year for it, for sure. Anyways, so how many quick question here? How many touchdowns would Justin have this year? I'll say, I'm gonna throw out, I'm gonna say like maybe 25 passing touchdowns and maybe 4 rushing touchdowns. Let's see. Let's say that, so I would say that in total about anywhere from, the George got a good one. Anywhere from 29, I would say 28 to 29. 28 on the low end, 30 on the high end. Yeah, I can see that. If we, maybe 32, Pappy says, so 27, Miguel says 27 touchdowns or passing touchdowns and 6 rushing. Yeah, seeming that could be very possible too. But I kind of went conservative on the rushing touchdowns just because I feel like we have such a good run game this year. So I think that's kind of be where it's at. So no, you know what? I need to get that sound clip. I was in. Can I see? Can I have it? No, I don't have it. I gotta find that sound clip and I gotta pull that one out and use that one for our shows. I was in. That's right, you were. Let's see. But okay, so we're coming close to the end here, so well, but what questions do you guys have for me about some more things? Yeah, so but I you know what, hang on a second here. Let me pull up. I did have some other people. I did have okay, so this is what I wanted to chat about real quick too. But yeah, so Khalil Mack chatted a little bit about why he wanted to come back to the Chargers, and so they kind of asked him in an interview, and I want to kind of give you kind of a little like a quick little recap about that. If I can find my notes on that, I'm just all scattered all over the place, so okay, here he goes. Yeah. Wait, is this it? No, this is not it. Did I have it? You know what? I don't think I thought I wanted to talk about it, but I feel like the biggest thing in my head. Let me just pull up that article. Let's pull up the article and just kind of just glanced at it right here. Okay, he went and okay, here it is. So they asked him about it. This is like, well, here he goes. Says another productive season at year 11. The Hall of Fame took some time to think about it and talk about it with his family, But the answer to the question, to play, led him back to the feeling that and goal he's been chasing since he entered the league in 2014. He wants to win a championship. That is the game. That is the dream, So he couldn't give up on that dream, not just yet, and that goal on myself and this franchise. And so he wants to do it. And everything kind of played into it, he obviously felt physically that he's able to keep going, and that's a kind of big thing, because honestly, it's a rough sport. By week 2, these players are kind of they're feeling beat up, and so that's just it. At the end of the day, he wants to win a championship, baby, and and that what makes me happy about him saying that too is because he believes at this point that the Chargers are just that close. He could have said is like, oh yeah, I wanted a championship. Well, he could have ended up going to the Eagles. He could have going to the Chiefs. Because they're clearly those two hot teams that keep going. He could have tried to go to the Bills. Because the Bills he could have gone there with Joey Bosa. And that was an interesting thought though, so he's actually out there. He has hope for the Chargers just like we do, and he believes that he can help get the team there. And that's the big thing, so that's just it. So I wanted to bring that up real quick, just chat about it, so I'm excited that, that Khalil Mack decided that the Chargers are the team to be this year. So I really hope he can. Oh gosh, I really do. He's such a good person too. Seeing him in interviews and stuff like that, and just chatting with him, and seeing how he works and like that. I want that for him, let alone the Chargers. And just he knows obviously if he gets is able to get to the Chargers a Super Bowl ring, that's going to secure him into the Hall of Fame 100%. So yeah. And Miguel, you're actually reading my mind here. So I wanted to pull this one up as well here. Yeah, here it is. The question is, will the Spanos family F things up with Slater, or will he stay with us? Well, here we go, guys. That was another thing on my agenda that I wanted to talk about tonight as well, because obviously we know he has been showing up to the mandatory minicamp, and there has been a lot of talks about his contract and what's going on with him. And obviously the rumor mill is out there. I'm sorry to say, for his privacy's sake, but yes, it it is sounding like he is going through a divorce, and that's kind of a big freaking huge bummer, and that's obviously going to put a halt on the his contract kind of stuff, because obviously if he's married by the time they get this contract all sealed up, then they get some divorce situated, then I guess he's going to have to give half of that to his ex-wife, which is freaking awful to hear. And yeah, you know what? Dang, you know what? And I missed his interview today, so I will have to go take a look at that one, and I'll find that out. So yeah. But yeah, so that's just it. But the interview did say that they are nearing terms for a contract for him right now. So that's just kind of what's going on right now. So yeah, so well, we found this out from just some random situation inside information that we sometimes do get from down the grapevine. We have some contacts that have some contacts, and we hear what they hear, and it comes down the grapevine to us a little bit, So it's it's a big thing. It's a lot of people are talking about it. It's a sad thing, I think. So okay, so here's the thing: if there is if they do have some, and you're right, Darth Banner, they have some money set aside for him. He just needs to finalize that divorce. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah, it's super sad. Exactly. But so what I think that the Chargers should do, and hear me out, guys. I think that they should sign him a very dirt cheap, like, let's just say, just throw something out there, 1-year contract or something like that, like or maybe something else, just really just really just kind of like, all right, we see your game out there, Mrs. X Slater. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to sign Slater to a really brief contract. And then that's going to be happen. And then he's going to get a really big contract after that. It's like he's going to have a follow-up contract, or maybe make this contract a performance-based contract or something like that. I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. There's no way his agent's going to let that happen. So like, he's like, well, it is what it is at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, but the biggest problem is too is like, she deleted all their wedding pics and changed their name back to the maiden name. Slater's IG deleted. Oh, I think that was a big too. Like, so the internet sleuths were kind of talking about it, and that's how I found out about it. You can look at it. So he deleted all of his wedding pics as well, and that's kind of where it was. Yeah, but it's going to be a huge contract though, no matter what. So yeah, that's right, Darth. Yeah. So they've both deleted. There's big trouble in Little China. For their relationship, and it's unfortunate that it's in the public space that all this stuff happens. Like I hate it. I hate bringing it up, and I know a lot of people talk about it. It's like, but I mean, honestly, I hope he's doing well with his mental health in this situation, because it's not coming at a very good time. He's obviously trying to work out this massive veteran contract and she's trying to get half of that, and it's like it's all the work that he's done in his life. And I hate to say it, like, I don't want to sound that way, but it's just a tough situation, So it's never easy. It's never easy. But yeah, okay. So that was about it though, guys. That's all I really had for tonight. So you guys let me know, like, what are you guys thinking about when it comes to the team? Like you guys have any thoughts, any questions? Like I said, the biggest thing though too is like kind of just like some kind of other little thoughts or whatever. So go ahead and just throw some questions. Andrew's up in the chat. What's up, Andrew? By the way, I mean, if you wanted to jump in, I'm in the studio. It's just chilling. But like I said, just a couple of quick takeaways here that I have. Is obviously the defense led by Derwin James is going to be awesome. Jesse Minter's system, for whatever reason, is just so good that he's going to be able to throw whoever he needs to in there, and they're going to be able to just light it up, And we're going to have a great, we're going to have a great offseason or season for sure. I'm not too worried about our defense. And I'm much more hopeful about our offense this year than I did last year. That's for sure. And when it comes to, like, as we saw this week, Gadsden is going to be able to do amazing work. And hopefully he might be able to rise above some of our other tight ends too, just, by being more hungry, and just being able to show up. And if he can start learning how to block better than he catches, then yeah, I think he could take it. So, but yeah, man, so let me, I want to just add, let me just do this. Let me just throw this out there. So who wins minicamp, guys? Who do you think wins minicamp MVP? Between Derwin James, Oronde Gadsden, or Justin Herbert. So, I could say, well, we could easily give them all. We could give our three words right now, and that could be the rookie of the camp award goes to Gadsden. I'll say Gadsden, sure. Derwin James could be the defensive MVP of the camp, and Justin Herbert could be Justin Herbert, of course, could be the offensive MVP, I guess, so but yeah, this is a big thing. I feel like in my book, I want to say Herbert is always a winner, bottom line, and you're right, Miguel. So in my book, I want to say my personal thing, I think Gadsden. I would go Gadsden because he's got a kind of an interesting situationship that he's going into. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got two veteran tight ends above him, and that's we got Conklin, we've got Will Dissly. It's possible, I think, that he has the biggest possibility or opportunity, I would say, to move up into the tight end one role if he actually steps up in a bigger way and actually starts moving things forward. Justin Herbert says Conklin. That's what's up. Yeah, okay, I can see that too. Hey, yeah, you don't have to say between my choices. You can say somebody else too. You can even say Tre Harris. You can say Tre Harris. You can even say Rashawn Slater for showing up. Heck, you can for minicamp. You can even say Khalil Mack for deciding to spend another year, potentially his final year, with the Chargers, to be able to make it to secure that Lombardi Trophy, to raise that baby up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I may make a poll on this on the YouTubes, and I may make a poll on this on the Twitters, on the X, I should say, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah, but we should say that, so that's kind of my thoughts, that I want to leave you guys with and kind of think about, so, but man, I guys, like I'm saying, it's been awesome. It's been a great little mini camp. We'll talk about it some more on the weekend. It does, by the way, it does sound like James is going to be out for the weekend, because he's going to be in the mountains. He's not going to have good service or whatever. He's going to be out with the hill people, and running around in overalls and no shirt, having a big piece of straw in his mouth, lighting off fireworks. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he does up there. And none of us know what he does up there, so he's probably digging a hole and making a nuclear bunker or something like that. And I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Oh yeah, Justin Herbert says, yeah, Julian Colson might do well. That's right. Let's see. Well, I mean, like I said, that's all I got for tonight, guys. I'm excited for coming up. We'll talk a little bit more about this over the weekend, and we are working on having a guest come to our show. So he's it could work out, it might not. Obviously, it is Father's Day this weekend, so that's kind of a weird situationship with it as well. So we'll try to work something out and figure something out though. So yeah, we'll have a good time. We'll make it a good show for you guys for sure, no matter what. But guys, like I said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video because it really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you have, if you feel so inclined, go ahead and share the show with some of your friends because that's really how we do it. Like word of mouth is how we advertise. We don't spend money too much on ads. Every once in a while, I'll throw some money at a video that I want to get out there and push it out a little bit more, But yeah, if you haven't already, go ahead and do that for us, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. And yeah, that's all I got. So as always, guys, Bolt Bros, let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.